On the stretch, Michigan goes down. Let's start this one up. Gonna lose it. Good evening, everybody. Welcome in to the Michigan basketball post-game live. Dennis Fithian with you here. Michigan drops a close one to Virginia, 70-68. I'm talking about it. What happened down at the end of this game? Couple things that went on. I missed the very last shot. I saw somebody on Twitter saying that Jett Howard got fouled and the refs didn't call one. They did call late in this game. Michigan, they are in a close ball game where it is a 1-point game, 67-66 in 20 seconds. Michigan's going to run a set, and Jalen Llewellyn, Michigan's point guard, throws the ball away up top over on the left wing, and Jett Howard reaches in and fouls the Virginia player, and he is called for an intentional foul. Maybe they've got a new rule where they get into, like in the NBA, a breakaway foul. They put the indication, when you see the officials, cross their arms. They were calling the intentional there. Maybe there's an emphasis on that, and if a player has a clear basket, if he's up in front of everybody, which in this case he was, again, maybe some emphasis on that. In years past, I don't think I think you look at that and you say, wow, that's not something that the officials usually call, but there could be more of an emphasis on it. It could be something that they have talked about. I don't know, he looked like he was going for the ball to me. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one for Michigan, who plays a really good game against the number 3 team in the country. And, you sit back, there's a way, you don't have moral victories. I mean, Michigan basketball is beyond that. I mean, it's not like they came out of the gate and looked like a really strong team this year. And they did play really well. But in the end, I make it sound like, it's a moral victory that they played Virginia. I think there was a lot of people that looked at this upcoming schedule with Virginia, with Kentucky, with North Carolina, all in these games that were coming up, and Michigan fans just hoping, hey, play well, see if you can grab a victory out of one of these games. This would have been a nice one, being at home and playing the number 3 team. And, Michigan was, they played fantastic, really. They played a great first half. They were their best version of themselves, the best version that you would want for this team. And you say, hey, what's their ceiling? What's their upside? Well, if you watch the first half of this game, you saw it from Michigan tonight, and you saw it in the first half. You want to respond, you're out there, and you got a comment like Logan saying, hey, he thought that Michigan could have won this one. I hear what you're saying. Let me see if I can get my statistics up on the board. You know what? I can do that. Give me a second to do that. I have to add them in here. It was Michigan playing really well in the first half in this game, and it comes down to be a 1-possession game late. Michigan had a turnover late with Llewellyn. They had a turnover. Hunter Dickinson had one that he threw away. But I think when you go back and you look at this one, what you do see from Michigan is that it's 2 minutes to go, and you've got a tie game. Hunter Dickinson gets fouled, makes one, misses one, puts Michigan up by 1. You got 90 seconds to play, and Michigan's up 1 in this game. And then you've got the Cavs missing a layup. Hunter Dickinson playing some nice D, and Michigan then with a minute to go, not minute 15 to go, they get it to Hunter Dickinson. This is who you want to have the ball, and he goes in, and Hunter misses a they call it a sky hook. He missed his patented hook in the lane. Maybe you'd say he's a little bit further out than you would have wanted him, but you're going to take that shot anytime with the game on the line with Hunter Dickinson. And, he missed the sky hook, and Michigan, is up 1. They go up 3 if he's able to hit that. So you want that shot anytime. And then the Cavs come down with under a minute. They hit a J from the free throw line to go up one, and that sets up Michigan. They got to execute. They have to execute. They have to try to get the ball back down to Hunter Dickinson. Jet Howard was hurt late in this game. I think it was a cramp. He was able to come back in, but Michigan's going to try to get the ball and run a set to Dickinson, but they never get a chance because Llewellyn throws it away, and then the play that I was talking about that was a tough call on U of M. And like I'm saying, like I didn't like that call. What I don't know, they put new rules in and they talk about emphasizing certain things in the game, and if it's one of those situations where you have a guy that has they call it clear path, and then they want to take the fouling away out in the backcourt if somebody's up ahead, and you could make the case like in the pros, you see that all the time. This isn't the pros, but calling the intentional foul there did not like that unless again they've come up with the emphasis on this, and if this is the one where they're going to say, go to the Michigan game early in the season against Virginia. But so a tough one, for U of M, who comes down and plays a good game, but does not, and they're not able to get the W. Excellent first half. They were up 11. Dickinson was the clear mismatch. You knew that Virginia was going to come out, and you knew that they were also going to make a run, which they did. In that first half, Dickinson had 14. Jet Howard had 11. It was everything like if we're sitting here talking about not the loss, but the positives you take out of the game for Michigan, you watch this game and you say, hey, if they play like this for the rest of the year, they're going to win their share of games against the top teams in the conference. They're going to win some of these games, coming up against Kentucky and North Carolina. They can win them if they play and they get the contributions like tonight. And, being able to execute with under a minute in a 1-point game. I mean, this is the essence. If you want to be a good basketball team, you want to be a team that can compete in the Big Ten. You want to be a team that can get into the NCAA tournament. You want to be a team that can advance in the NCAA tournament. You've got to make plays at the end of games. And, Michigan made some. They were able to get it to Dickinson, but then, throwing the ball away with, under a minute to go, under 30 seconds to go, 20 seconds to go, and not being able to get a shot off, that one's going to sting a little bit. And that's where you say, you hope that they learn from that. I think a lot of people will wake up tomorrow and say, oh, man, a real barn burner at the Crisler Center late at night. What happened? And I would say, Michigan was right there with a chance to win it, and they turned it over late and weren't able to get that final shot to see if they could pull the upset, which is disappointing. But other than that, they got nice contributions from the players that you want, including Dickinson and Jet Howard. And in that first half, you had everybody, a little bit of a Buffkin as well. And, they shot really well in the first half, 7 of 13, 61%. And then, but, not enough in this game. Look at the overall numbers. Let's just see where we're at with the overall numbers. It's the first time that I'm looking at them. Hunter Dickinson with 23 points and 7 boards. Jet Howard had 15. We'll see. I think he's all right. He went down late in that game, non-contact injury right in front of the Michigan bench. He went down, maybe a calf strain, whatever. We'll see if he's going to be all right or not. Buffkin had double figures for Michigan with 11. Not a whole lot from the bench. Hey, Logan, talking about 12 turnovers. Yeah, a couple too many. And when you talk about turnovers, it was the one at the end. There were 2. Dickinson threw one away. They passed it to him. There was a hard double, and he was throwing the ball back outside, and he threw it away late in that game. That's not something you want. That's not great execution by Michigan. They'll want to do a better job there. And then the one by Llewellyn's the one that's really going to stand out because Michigan's down by 1. There's 20 seconds to go. They're playing for a final shot, and they were never able to get that final shot up. So the final shot up. So that hurt them. Not a whole lot from the bench, for Michigan here. Reed had a nice move, and Joey Baker hit 1-3, but you're going to want more obviously from the bench, more than a contribution of just 5 points from the Michigan bench, who, the Wolverines shoot really good from downtown, 8 of 19. That's 42%. They were 8 of 10 from the free throw line, and they shoot 53%. So they shot the ball well. They played well, and they just get to the end. And, there's no moral victories. But if you're looking for the positives, I'm going to say this again. Like I've kind of beat around the bush, but I'm able to crystallize it now. They weren't able to get a shot up at the end, which is disappointing. They played a really good game, shot the ball well, and this bodes well for Michigan if they can duplicate this kind of performance moving forward. Some of the signs that this is going to be a really disappointing team in the first few games. I think that this was encouraging that it doesn't necessarily have to be that way if they can get the effort and then production like they did tonight. But if you want to beat the number 3 team in the country, you got to execute late. And they did a few times, but with 20 seconds to go, with the ball in the hands of the guy that you're expecting to get you into the play, your point guard, turning the ball over, that one's going to leave a mark, and you're going to remember that one. It's going to be disappointing. And then the breakaway foul, which you say is controversial. I didn't like it. And, with the caveat that maybe that's something that they're emphasizing now in college basketball. I don't know. That's what I saw. That's what I see. I don't know if anybody had a thought on that. We'll see what it ends up shaking out as. As for Michigan coming up for the Wolverines, they will play again coming up Sunday. They head to London. They'll take on Kentucky over in the UK, a 1:00 tip. And then they start the Big Ten after that on Thursday. They'll have a break. So this is not this upcoming Thursday, but a week from Thursday, they'll be in Minnesota for the Big Ten opener. And then they get a break with a team called Lipscomb. I'm not sure about what they bring to the table, but then Michigan's heading down to North Carolina. It says number 1 North Carolina. I put this schedule up last week. North Carolina was number 1, but they lost a couple games. They've tumbled down to what I think 17 or 18 in the top 25. So they're not number 1 North Carolina anymore. That will be a tough game for the Wolverines. A lot of things to like tonight. A couple things not to like at the end of this game, including a foul call on Jett Howard and a turnover by Llewellyn late, but a 1-2 punch with Dickinson and with Jett Howard. Jett Howard looks like a star. I know there's a lot of people. I noticed that during the game, they're like, "Whoa, Jett Howard, he can shoot you out of the game, but he takes some bad shots." I don't know. I like Jett Howard. You say bad shots. He takes like it's like he takes NBA shots. I mean, he's throwing step backs. He's got some off balance stuff. He's driving the lane. That's his game. I mean, he's got flash, and it's a high powered offensive game. Some of that people are looking at like, oh, I'm not really sure that. Yeah, that's those are. I think there was one that he fired up in the first half. It seemed like an early in the shot clock 3 where. I think that he thought he got fouled, and it missed, and it was a bad miss, and you're thinking that wasn't a good shot. That was one, and so there might be some of those, where you say, hey, that was a bad shot, but he's very skilled, very talented, and he is a big time scorer, and he's fun to watch. So hopefully he's going to be okay. We'll see what his status is for the UK, and hopefully that was just a cramp. So that's going to do it here for the Michigan Basketball Postgame Live. Always good to be on here with you. Let's see if we got some tweets coming in here. Julie is saying Jed is a pro, but he's terrible on D. Julie is saying he's bored. Okay, Julius, sorry about that. I don't know what you're doing to entertain yourself. He says Howard coached a horrendous last 2 minutes of the game. Why call a timeout? Call it after the second shot. I don't. I'm not putting this one on Juwan Howard and coaching horrendously. I'm going to disagree with that. I'm going to say turning the ball over, your point guard with 20 seconds to go, not being able to get you a final shot. You want to put that on the coach? All right, I'm going to put that on the player. So it's just however you want to look at it. And, and saying you're putting it on him, he threw a pass and it wasn't a good one and it was a turnover. So you at that point, would you have liked to have called a timeout and drawn something up? The coaches, you can make that case. Thing is, if you trust your team to get that shot and to get you into a play, then that's why you go with it. That's why you don't call a timeout. A lot of coaches do call the timeout there. I think you can make that argument. Now that I'm sitting here and thinking about it, calling a timeout, drawing something up over there, but I think when you're over there, if you have the whiteboard, you say, "Hey, don't make a careless pass and throw it away." And maybe a coach will say, "That's why I'm going to draw something up and make sure that." So they're going to emphasize with some kind of screen or something, where you're able to tell your guard something. I mean, you got a senior guard in Llewellyn that you're trusting and you're trying to see what kind of late game execution that you can get for your team. So certainly you can make that argument. All right. Thanks for watching. We're here after every Michigan basketball game and a football game. That'll do it for tonight. Michigan drops this game, and the final is 70-68. All right, everybody, take care. And we'll talk with you again Sunday, basketball-wise. We'll see you a little bit later on today at 1 o'clock. Good afternoon, Michigan football. Till then, everybody have a great night. Rest of their morning now. Good night.